This message is brought to you by the friends and partners of Kakra Baden. Welcome to Air Power with Kakra Baden, teaching the nations with signs and wonders. Kakra is the senior pastor of the Morning Star Cathedral, Lighthouse Chapel International, Accra, Ghana. Now, today's message.
Welcome. Kakra has been sharing on his book titled Squatters with the aid of a short documentary. Today he speaks on the effects of the presence of squatters. Let's join in.
Yesterday I started sharing on my book, Squatters. And I said that basically a squatter is somebody who lives in a place where he's not supposed to be, without right or title. And I said that we have spiritual squatters. Today I want us to look at the effect that the evil spirit had in Job's house. The Bible says that Job's house started suddenly experiencing a lot of calamities. The Bible says his children, 10 of them, died in a freak storm in one day. The Bible says lightning struck and destroyed all his sheep and his servants. I want you to know that all these things look natural. They could be explained. But we who are viewing the thing from a spiritual perspective know what happened. An evil spirit, a squatter, had moved into the house. Now this spirit had three effects on Job's house, which I want to outline to you. Number one, his business collapsed. And do you know what was Job's response? Job said, "Naked came out of my mother's womb. Naked shall lie within thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." That was the ignorance of Job. It was not the Lord. It was a spiritual squatter in the house. The next thing that suffered, number two, was that Job's marriage suffered. Suddenly, this loving family started undergoing marital strife and quarrels. What they didn't know was that they were being manipulated by evil beings and spirits which they could not see. And it started tearing even the marriage apart. I remember once somebody got married and then he traveled and he went on a honeymoon. As soon as he came back from the honeymoon, he said to me, "I'm not going to marry my wife again." This was years ago. I didn't know about squatters then. I believe that when he went to the hotel that night and he had his honeymoon, I believe there was a spirit there. And I believe that spirit entered into him and destroyed the marriage right from day one as I speak. But I thank God that I know this now, that now I'm sharing this with you, so that whether you go to a hotel, whether you rent a place, whether you build your house, make sure that you pray over the place, knowing full well that squatters can be in the building. Number three, the third thing that was affected was Job's health. If you read Job chapter 2 verse 7, the Bible says, "So the devil smote Job with sore balls from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head." The word smote means to hit. So the Bible says that the devil just got up and hit him. From that day, he contracted the disease. Well, I want us to continue watching the documentary that I began to show you yesterday. The documentary talks about a couple who moved into a house. But what they didn't know was that there were spirits in the house. But what I want you to note in this documentary was that the spirit in the house affected the marriage of the people, affected their business, affected their home, affected their children. This documentary was put together as a scientific study, not even as a religious study. So it tells you that even unbelievers, they believe that this thing is true. Stay tuned.
Nightmares become reality. But soon, it's his father who becomes his greater concern.
Not even a year after these events started occurring on a regular basis, he started developing this heavy drinking problem. It progressively got worse, and to the point to where he was staying out for a couple days at a time. Business was failing because of it. I truly believe that these entities were pushing buttons and just trying to divide and conquer us as a family.
If you just ignore it, it'll go away.
Bill, there is something unnatural in this house, and I am afraid for the children.
Look,
I'm not moving my family for something that doesn't exist, okay?
okay, like I said, if you ignore it, it will go away.
It's not that simple.
It is that simple.
At the time, I didn't know what to think. But now, as an adult looking back on it, there's no question in my mind that these entities were fueling him. I wanted to scream out for my parents, and I couldn't. My mouth wouldn't even work.
Join me tomorrow as we continue on the journey, Squatters. God bless you.
You can order this book or the full length of this documentary through the following means. Send me a message on Facebook with the word Squatters. Post the words Order Squatters in the comment section. Call us directly on +233 249 217272. That's +233 249 217272. We deliver worldwide.